Wisconsin Policy Forum study is the most recent study of the system in UW-Madison and what the effect is for the state. But more importantly, it's the most comprehensive study that we've had. It's been a long time since we've taken a fresh look at the state of Wisconsin higher education system. And what we found is Madison was falling behind in U.S. News and World rankings pretty dramatically. We went back and actually looked over the last decade and beyond, and we probably have fallen further than any of the premier institutions. At the time of the system merger, over 45 cents or around 45 cents of every dollar came from the state. It was actually the second biggest line item in our budgets. Today, it's the fifth biggest line item in our budgets. Madison has to have an ability to raise capital. Every single research institution that we compare ourselves to has this ability, and this is a period of time that had we had access to more capital, we would have not only been able to complete our mission and continue even though we have declining revenue and increased expenses due to COVID, but we'd be able to invest when others potentially couldn't. And the reason I want to continue to have greater investment in the state is because of that. It's an investment. There's studies that show $1 of money going into the state generates $24 of return. This is a true investment in the economy, in the people of the state, and I don't think there's a higher return of investment anywhere. Just like any other business, there's a marketplace for professors. The data I've seen is that they're about 16% below the national averages, and that's frankly comparing us to institutions that are far inferior. The other stat I've seen is when people actually leave Madison, is on average they're receiving a pay increase well above that 16% to more like 40%, and then it costs us more to replace those. We have to be competitive, and we're not right now. UW-Madison has seen a dramatic decline in its research rankings. If you look at the top 30 institutions, we're number 27 in terms of the amount we've invested in research growth, and that's starting to catch up with us. We used to be number 1, 2, or 3 consistently, and now we're down to number 8. I would argue Madison's peers are these world-class research institutions, MIT, Johns Hopkins, Stanford, Berkeley, UCLA. All these institutions are competing for our students, and they're competing for our research dollars. If you go back and look at the job growth and the amount of activity, you can find activity in every county of the state where companies have been formed because of research done in the state, and it's an investment with a great payback. We need to talk about this now because we're at the edge of the cliff. We have the longest tuition freeze in the country. We have massive losses at the university, and we have no access to capital. If we don't take major steps and do something different here, we're going to be average. And nobody wants the University of Wisconsin to be average. And it's a unique time, I think, in terms of what's happening in its system, what's happening with the budget, and what's happening with the next legislative agenda to make sure that we can do something to change course.